Erica, the investigation into what Peel Police called parental abduction last night actually started hours before any of us received the Amber Alert to our phones and to our devices. So some do have questions about the timeline and why it took police quite some time to issue this emergency alert, especially since the 11-year-old's mother personally went to 22 Division expressing serious concern over the safety of her daughter.
She said she had received a message that deemed to be concerning. She was worried about her daughter's well-being.
Here is the timeline of events that ended with the tragic death of 11-year-old Riya Rajkumar, whose body was found inside a house owned by her father. At 6:30 p.m., Riya was supposed to be dropped off back to her mom, but the 11-year-old and her father never showed up. Shortly before 7 last night, Riya's mother files the complaint. Moments later, residents living near 106 Hanson Road say they noticed police cruisers parked outside the house. The standard procedure is for officers to knock and see if anyone is home. Police say the suspect's vehicle was not at the scene and there were no signs of anyone at home. Around 10:30 p.m., police released photos of Riya and Rupesh Rajkumar on social media, asking for the public's help. At 10:54 p.m., Peel Police contact the OPP and request for an Amber Alert to be sent out. Shortly before 11:30, that emergency alert is broadcast, with police asking witnesses to call 911 if they see the pair or a silver Honda Civic. Just before midnight, police gain entry into the home, and minutes later, the OPP make an arrest at another location. The Amber Alert is terminated about 1 hour after it was issued, with the message that Riya was located. At 12:29 a.m., Peel Police sent a tweet out saying the 11-year-old was found dead. This is now a homicide investigation. Investigators say they followed several steps prior to calling that Amber Alert.
They did it as soon as they felt that the circumstances required it, which is pretty standard. We have to cover off that we've done a certain amount of checks before, we say we look for the vehicle, or we've checked certain locations.
Why couldn't Peel Police gain access to that home prior?
So think of any residence, whenever we're looking for anyone or doing an investigation, to enter into residence, we need extenuating circumstances, something that says I have to get in there. So when we originally got the information, it was that they were traveling in a certain vehicle that they had left in. Obviously, the vehicle was not at that location, so they didn't have enough grounds really to say that they're in there or that anybody's in there.
Why couldn't an Amber Alert be issued right away if the mother was saying that she was getting concerning texts?
I do know that the investigators, when they felt they had sufficient information, they went ahead with processing that form.
In the 4 hours prior to the Amber Alert being sent, Peel Police say they were actively investigating, and through that, they later learned there was sufficient evidence to believe the 11-year-old was in the home. That's how police gained entry before midnight. At a press conference in front of 22 Division later on, police were asked if the outcome would have been different if the Amber Alert was sent out earlier.
I honestly don't know. The sad reality is it went out when it did, and officers were close and nearby. I think a lot of them were really affected by the fact that they were actively searching for this girl, and this is the outcome that we're now dealing with.